A real Celtic talk show by real Celtic fans from the Carluke Shamrock Supporters Club on Hail Hail Media.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, 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 tock.
Hail, hail, and welcome to TikTok with the Carluke Shamrock Celtic Supporters Club. My name's Vincent, and this podcast is being recorded on Monday, the 8th of April. You can find more information about the club at carlukeshamrock.com and details of the podcast and the other Celtic family podcasts at hailhailmedia.com. Tonight we were hoping to have the boss back as host. However, the real boss, his good lady Joanna, has had a wee health setback and is currently recovering in hospital, so all our thoughts and prayers are with Richard, Joe and the family for a speedy recovery. Now, on our podcast tonight we'll be discussing the Fans Against Criminalisation demo that took place on Saturday. We'll look back at the 3-0 win over Hibs on Saturday, look forward to the Scottish Cup semi-final at Hampden on Sunday against Dundee United, and we'll have our usual hot topics to get through as well. So let's see who we've lined up for you on the panel tonight. We have
Brian. he just a massive rift.
I never picked that up. Did it pick up? Okay.
In the building, so
You held it up well. You held it up well.
Brian Connolly here.
Brian and
Kevin.
Good evening, Kevin. So sorry
or the Brothers Grimm, as Jason
Grimm,
wants to take on.
So to kick us off, we've got some recordings from you for the demo on Saturday. Some special guest interviews and recordings of the speakers on the day. So to kick us off,
Hold on, Vincent, can I just interject here?
Yes, you can.
The wicked old witch at
The witch is dead, the witch is dead, the witch is dead. Ding dong, the wicked old witch is dead.
We had to interrupt this podcast to announce.
So there's been news. There's been some news today, has there?
Well, I don't know, that was a request that had come through.
He's just like that.
Since you're on the podcast, can you please use that as special effects?
We'll take the request. We'll maybe play that again later on. Actually, that's quite a nice song.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Okay, so we're going to have a wee listen to some of the recordings from Saturday. Okay?
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, 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 tock.
Right, TikTok is here live in a secretive pub in the city centre of Glasgow on the FAC demo day with two Twitter podcast legends. First up from the Shambolic we have our lovely co-host, I can say I suppose, Vincenzo, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening. You're just too used to doing TikTok at night. And Twitter legend and the tram reporter live we have the famous Willie Keane. Hello, sir.
How are you doing?
Very well. Now, what's going on, Vinny? We're not at Celtic Park, we're not watching a football game, it's a Saturday, beautiful sunshine, we're in Glasgow, so why, if someone listening in that doesn't know what's going on, why are we here? What's happening?
There's people that don't know what's going on. Is that what you're saying?
There are listeners all around the world following Hail Hail Media, remember, folks from Australia and Canada and everywhere. They see the games, they see the results, you know, all the kind of blogs and stuff after it. But what's going on the ground that fans are having to put up with at the moment?
Yeah, the ground, word in the street, is that what we're talking about here? Well, I've got my official red, white and blue protesting shirt on today.
Official?
Aye, it's official. So I'm taking a bit of ribbon for that, obviously. Aye, so we're heading up to George Square in approximately, in fact we're going in 5 minutes time, aren't we? Protesting against this mindless bull. Actually quite amazed with this guy, the last sheriff to come out and call it, what was his words? Mince.
It was mince.
Aye, so that's
Big article today.
a guy from a place where they apparently eat rolls and mince, is that right? So I mean personally for me, I just think that the whole thing's an absolute farce, and I'm still trying to understand it. I'm trying to understand it for the kind of top level, the strategy level, like who's driving this. And I'm kind of listening to all different people. I think the guy, as we spoke about in the train on the way in, the police guy that was on Half the World Away, put it into a wee bit of context and said, the government were looking at domestic abuse, and then Neil Lennon and McCoist had this face-off at an Old Firm game, so they kind of pounced on that and had a summit, and this seemed to shape some sort of legislation that's in, and for the life of me I still can't understand what is it trying to achieve, other than trying to say, well, look at the Huns and this is what the Huns do, so we maybe need to do something for the Celtic fans who don't offend.
We can't get them.
They don't offend anybody, and they're trying to write something to get a hold of them. So I've got to be honest, I'm no understanding it, but I'm up for protesting against it.
Being up for protesting, well, you're a far travelled man, so for yourself to get here and take part in this, it must be something that kind of means something to you.
Well, no, I'm just glad that Vincent just explained that to me, because living in England, I really don't see as much as up here, and I don't come to as many games, so thanks very much. So no, I wasn't actually going to come. Last night I was in two minds about whether, like, afterwards it might kick off or whatever, but I was persuaded to come along and give it support. So.
And have you got that fear? Has the fans got to be wise today? We've got to make sure we don't fall into any traps, etc.
Absolutely, as long as we just toe the line and nobody steps out of the line, but to see how it goes. I'm thinking if there's, 2,000 or 3,000, 5,000, how many do you think will be there?
I don't know. I've got a funny feeling that the day it'll be policed completely different for the last one. They'll just get, if they're clever enough, I think they'll police it completely different, so it will go all off, with the incident probably, because the police will take a different tack. Everybody's here today, so it'll be that whole, I'm not quite sure what he's on about, this is we're the friendly police, this is how we do it. I wouldn't be surprised if they policed it completely differently.
But what at the very end though, when it's dispersal time, I hear there's 3 routes you've got to take, and are you allowed to go whenever you want, and they say, like, no, you're staying here till the end of this rally, and then it might kick off and somebody saying, no, I need to go and meet somebody. No, you're staying in there. So we're a bit worried about that, but I think you might be right.
Kettles or other household appliances?
Well, I've not brought any biscuits, so that's my only fear. I've no hobnobs, so I'm gutted. No fear, it'll pass off with the incident, and I'm looking forward. I'm not quite sure who they've lined up. I think McMahon, the MSP, I think, is it Jeanette Finlay? I think she might be saying a few words. I heard her talking on a podcast saying she might be saying a few words, and I'm not sure who else, but looking forward to it. Is
it true that Craig White's making a key speech?
I think he is. I think he's flying in. How good would that be?
He gets some reception, wouldn't he? He'd be brilliant.
The guy's a legend.
My hero.
Just coming back, just when it's all settling down again, here he comes again. Fantastic.
But you enjoy the fun.
Absolutely. Exactly.
And what about the game after it, Will? How are you thinking that's going to go?
I'm sure we'll win. We're going to beat Hibs at some point this season, and then St Mirren. Could St Mirren do it? I don't know. I really don't know. There's some party if
Johnny's telling me they've got a good record for parts, so you never know.
But Motherwell's record at home.
They need to get beat, don't they?
Motherwell
need to get beat.
You have to win. And then Chris Cuyava yesterday was putting it down on it, saying that St Mirren's away record's atrocious. Motherwell's home record's fantastic.
He's a downer, that boy. But to be fair to him, he did say that when we're leaving George Square today, we should probably conga all the way to
that was a really good suggestion. It absolutely was.
If you're up for that.
I don't know if you can conga in the Queen's Highway, actually. I'm not sure about that.
Only in July.
I think there's a law there. There's a law somewhere. It's a bylaw.
Is this law going to go? Are we going to beat it? Is it going to get changed? Is it going to get extinguished?
I don't know that it'll go, but I think it will get changed at some point.
Down.
I think it has to. I mean, it doesn't make sense. And actually, I'm not aware of many other clubs who are up in arms as much as Celtic fans, so I'm wondering how fairly.
Dundee United and Aberdeen on it, but
is that right?
Not wider than that.
I haven't actually.
Do you think there'll be people there today from other clubs or just the Celtic?
Well, we tell you a laugh earlier, there was a couple of zombies walking past with the blue retro tops, so we thought they're either being good brothers or they're in for a hell of a surprise.
We took a wrong turn on that.
Maybe they have heard that Craig White is talking.
When we'll go and see George Square. Oh, what happened there? What happened to George Square?
My jacket, Billy. Right, guys, thanks for talking to us and enjoy your day. Stay safe.
Cheers.
Tick-tock, tock.
Right, TikTok is on the other side of the pub with some other sets of supporters. We've got the fabulous Johnny Mackay for the Shambolic.
Oh, fabulous.
That's free, mate. That's free, that one. And our brother, our comrade from Hail Media, the famous Jason Higgins. Hello, sir.
You alright, mate?
Now, in the way in the train, we were having a good laugh and a giggle. I won't go into the details for the listeners, but there were certain stories about your past, your guys' past, and how you've behaved as fans. Is it fair to say completely different to what these guys like the Green Brigade and so on are putting up with these days and how they behave?
I'll let Johnny go first.
See how far he goes.
Night and day.
Night and day.
Honestly.
You described them, I think the word used was angels.
Well, that might be taking it a wee bit too far, but
in comparison,
I mean, I've never seen any bother at football for years and years and years. I mean, the last time I seen any serious bother was at Janefield Street, I think that was 1985.
Oh, jeez, that's good.
And again, that was the police.
Right.
Before that, it was when I was younger again, and that was the one that everybody speaks about. It was the Hampden bit.
The cup final.
That's it, in 1980. Sporadic fights here and there, which you get every Friday night, Saturday night in the street. But football violence has been, in my opinion, non-existent in Scotland.
Which just builds up your total confusion, mate. What's happening with the law and the police and everything else?
I mean, I'm no one. That's the first demonstration I've ever been to in my life.
There you go.
And I'll stand by these young boys until they are vindicated for what they're doing, supporting a football club. And without these young boys going to Celtic Park every other week, Celtic Park's atmosphere, and they actually, I enjoy at times, half time, I enjoy their banner displays. I just enjoy having a wee glance over now and again as well. So I'm going to support them. And another thing, I don't think it's just about the Green Brigade now. I think it's about the whole football supporters in a whole. In fact, I'm sure I've seen a couple of
we were talking about that, some of the
two Rangers fans walking by there, and I think that's the only place they can be going. So, and I heard Jim Slavin for the Hibs, and I know there's a few Hibbies going. So hopefully there'll be a few other football fans, supporters there, the other clubs.
Jason, you're still bearing the scars from the Dundee riots. I hope you've recovered physically, but there's all sorts of skullduggery going on these days. You know,
I'm still getting counselling. It's going to be a long road, but I think I'll get there. You know, it's shell shock they call it.
PR and spending.
I know. I think there is, but what I want to do is I want to draw a line under all of that. I just want to move on. And as Johnny says, it's nothing to do with the Green Brigade now. It's just Celtic supporters. Well, it's football supporters, and it's great what the Fans Against Criminalisation's done today, and the five main bodies, the Celtic Trust, Green Brigade, Supporters Association, Affiliation, and the Irish supporters have all came together, and they've all got representatives involved here, and they've organised this static demo today, which we're all going to support with pride. And I hope it goes off well, and I hope the police stay their distance and just let us voice our democratic right in this country, which we're the bastion of free speech, but doesn't seem to be too free anymore.
No, indeed.
And but going back to what the Green Brigade, I don't really want to go on about the Green Brigade because it's nothing to do with them. It's Celtic supporters. They're Celtic supporters and I'm a Celtic supporter, so they're the same as me as far as I'm concerned. But as you brought it up, they're total angels compared to we were when we were kids.
Some of these stories, man, I'm still shaking after listening to them.
There's no doubt about it. I'm 41 now, and there's actually more Rangers fans going down there with scarves on. So that's
So hopefully a good turnout today.
There'll be thousands there. People were saying that casual estimates like 3,000. I think there'll be at least double that. I can totally see it. I look forward to it. So hopefully we've got a wee champion night as well. Mr. Larkin doesn't like doing it by half measures. Unfortunately, I'll not be there. I'll be at the Kano play. But I maybe pop along later. But Mr. Larkin, he's born for this kind of stuff, isn't he? He's born for this kind of stuff, just so that it kicks off. And his night at Celtic win the league, so you never know. St Mirren can maybe do a wee turn. But looking forward to the day. The sun's out, and now that I spend the day with my comrades, so looking forward to it.
Thanks a million, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Tick tock, 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 tock.
TikTok still here at this secretive location in Glasgow, hiding from Strathclyde's finest and the focus team. So the two boys are with us. I want you just to reveal your first name in case MD's watching us.
Tony. Kevin.
Good lads. Now, why are we here, Tony? What's made you come to this today?
Well, I go to the games week in, week out, home and away, and I've seen all the hassle that's now happening to Celtic fans. Certainly Green Brigade at home games, but even away games, you're getting searched going into every game, the hassle you're getting for the police, and I just thought, no, this is enough's enough, and I need to actually now stand up and do something about it. So when the chance of the demonstration came up, I thought, yeah, I'm going to that. I'm going to show my support for this.
Kevin, is it something you would normally go to?
I don't go to the games every week these days, unfortunately, so Tony gave us a shout and says he could get us a ticket, and I thought, well, we need to come along and show some solidarity with the rest of the guys, because it's unfair the way they're being treated, and when you read the statements for the police and stuff like that, it doesn't seem to be getting any better. So the only way that you can try and force change is with enough people turning up and making a stand, basically.
I'm going to ask you about how you think the difference has been over the years with how the police and stewards behave at football, but for yourself, Tony, from your point of view, what's the difference in fans' behaviour from the kind of old days to what it is these days?
Well, I mean, you could actually make a case to say it was a lot worse years ago, back in the 80s. I mean, alright, I was just a Wayne when I was going to the game in the 80s. My dad took me into the jungle, but you'd have guys in with the carry-outs and all that, and just sitting. Well, let's just let them go on with it. They kind of policed themselves. Whereas now, when there's no drinking or anything at the game, but now you're actually treated a hell of a lot worse. I mean, I actually couldn't tell you the last time I even seen a major battle or anything at the football. Aye, but you're treated as though there's trouble at it every time, and like the casual elements still in the go, that people are arranging fights and things like that, whereas it doesn't happen.
Doesn't seem to match up.
No, exactly. It doesn't. No, it really doesn't. The way the police are handling things actually doesn't equate to the way the fans are behaving. So I would actually say, on the face of it, the fans were actually worse behaved 20 years ago than what they are now. But now we're actually getting treated a lot worse than what we were 20 years ago.
And you're not talking just about Johnny and Jason, are you?
No,
it's wider than that.
Yes, it is. Yep.
We're not getting to pick on people.
Definitely not.
So what about the police, stewards, etc. at the games these days?
I've got to
what it's been in the past.
I've got to admit, I mean, I used to go to a lot of games, and to be honest, the police, the stewards never really seemed to bother us at all. There never seemed to be something you even thought about it. Where now it seems to be in everybody's mindset that you've got to watch the stewards and they're watching us, and this video and the fans, I think, is completely out of order. It's I don't know why they're getting away with that and why that's seen as right.
It's just constant. They're just standing there constantly
all the time. They're always doing it, and I don't know, I think there's a stereo atmosphere to football they seem to want to do these days. There's all these sort of campaigns to get the other team into trouble, and this one's emailing UEFA and emailing everybody. I just hate all that. I just wish we could get back to the days when you went to football, enjoyed yourself and went home, and there was none of this kind of stuff. And to be honest, people getting put in jail for singing stuff at football is just ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
Good man. Football wise, how's the season been for you so far?
Well, if you'd have said to me at the start of the season you're going to win the league, then I'd have been right, I'll take that. And that's regardless of what happened in Europe, because I mean, we all said at the start of the season just make the Champions League, it was all we were looking for. And then of course we had the fantastic run to the last 16, but as the seasons went on, I think we've all wanted more. Again, we've thought, can we do this treble? And we all know what's been happening at Hampden, just how we've been playing. So I mean, at the end of the season, if we don't win the double, I think a lot of people would say it's a failure. But if you tell me for the next 10 years you're going to win the league and nothing else, I'd still take that, as much as I want more. I mean, and you do. And you can't beat a day at Hampden in the sun, the last day of the season at the Scottish Cup. It's just there's something fantastic about it, and going for the double would be great. But I've still had a great time this season, and if next season it turns out that we win the league and get to the last 16 in the Champions League again, I'll be absolutely delighted.
Is Europe a big thing for you? Is it still getting the league and ticking that well?
I've got to admit, the European run this season was beyond anything I expected. It was back to the sort of Daisy Martin O'Neill time when you looked at the Champions League and really looked forward to it and knew we could do something in it, and there was that feel-good factor earlier in the season. To be honest, as it's went back to the league stuff, inconsistency has been a big problem.
You're talking about in the train, you don't know who's going to turn up.
That's right, it's dragged us back to, and the players, some of them look like they're going through the motions. There's some guys might have their heads turned and that kind of stuff, and I'm sort of in a wee bit of feeling there maybe some of the younger guys that are up for it, Tony Watts, guys like that should maybe be getting more game time over guys like Hooper, who's looking a bit disinterested. But
you think they will, once we tidy up the league, tick it off?
I'm not convinced. I don't know. Lennon seems to like his favourites, and I'm not criticising Lennon because I think he's done a great job. I know a lot of folk do. I think it's been one of those seasons where it's hard to criticise them, because we have had an amazing run in Europe. We've overachieved in that sense, and we've won the league. Well, we will win the league, so it's hard to be harsh on them. I mean, folk are like, oh, you should have won the treble this season. It's like, well, I don't kind of buy into that, because are you saying that every single season Celtic and Rangers are the two teams that compete for the cups? You know, it's not like that. So other teams are going to get runs in the cups, but if we win the double this season, then the run we've had in Europe, you can't say anything other than it's been a success.
And are we going to do it today? Can you see that happen?
I personally hope we do, because if we don't do it today, our next game in the league's not for another fortnight. It's my wedding anniversary and I'm away, so I would miss it. So I'm hoping we do it today, just so I can celebrate it. Whether we
what can you see? Are you dead confident of us, and it's a Motherwell game you're looking at, or
it might be us that actually muck this up rather than the Motherwell St Mirren game. I mean, we've not beat Hibs in the league that season. Motherwell are playing well, and as much as it pains me to say that, Motherwell are playing really, really well at the moment, but St Mirren are playing well at the moment too, so we just need to go out and do our job. And I mean, it'd be great if maybe we were winning and then maybe a wee last minute goal for St Mirren, or maybe vice versa, maybe St Mirren are winning and then we stick in a wee last minute goal, big Sammy Ali Aberdeen style, with an airhead kick. That would be great. That would be great.
Finish, absolutely. And finishing up with the demo itself, are you expecting, hoping for a big attendance at it?
I think there is going to be a huge attendance. I think just looking about forums and social media and stuff, there's a lot of people coming today. I just hope the police don't do anything stupid and cause any trouble. I hope it goes off peacefully and we make the point we're here to make, and that's what happens.
Certainly agree with that. Thanks a million, guys, and enjoy your day.
Tick tock, 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 tock.
So the rent and shipyard strikes, the poll tax and bedroom tax demonstrations, has been an historic sector. Popular votes against injustice. Well, today, with thousands upon thousands of Celtic fans here, I think that we can say that the campaign against criminalisation has the popular backing of the Celtic support. And we can also safely say that Alex Salmond and Kenny McCaskill and the SNP will be sitting up and taking note. For those of you here today that don't know our background, Fans Against Criminalisation is an umbrella group made up of the 5 main Celtic fans organisations: the Green Brigade, the Celtic Trust, the Celtic Supporters Association, the Affiliation of Registered Celtic Supporters Clubs, and the Association of Irish Celtic Supporters Clubs. We formed back in October 2011 in response to offensive behaviour and football legislation that was then passing through the Scottish Parliament. At the time, we said that the legislation was not only unjust and unnecessary, it was plain wrong. It was so broad that the Justice Minister admitted that people could be arrested for simply blessing themselves or even for singing a national anthem. And it was so narrow that it was focused solely on football fans. It treated us as second-class citizens and criminalised us merely for supporting our team. Later in 2011, in October, we rallied here in this very square. That day, I stood not far from here and I said that Fans Against Criminalisation would provide Celtic fans with a voice to tell politicians, prosecutors and police that we would not let them give us a kicking. I said that if they wanted to criminalise us, then we would fight them every step of the way. And for a time, we did just that. We rallied here in George Square with probably half this crowd, 2,000 Celtic fans, to say no, that we were opposed to the bill. We then went to the Scottish Parliament, and with nothing more than a just cause and a bag full of t-shirts, we embarrassed Alex Salmond and the SNP and the day they forced through their anti-football fan legislation. Yes! Regrettably, since then, we've not done enough. Sure, we've been helping out individual fans, and behind the scenes we've been diligently collecting data to show just how wrong the offensive behaviour at Football Act is. And like everyone else here, we've been moaning about being filmed before, during and after matches, as we come off supporters' buses, as we go to pubs. We've complained amongst ourselves about disproportionate policing and mistreatment of fans. But for too long, as a campaign and as a collective of fans, we've let the government and the police set the agenda. We've let the government and the police push their propaganda that football fans in Scotland are somehow the evil within our society. That we are termites to be fumigated, pests to be controlled. We've been too quiet as fans have been arrested and harassed. We've allowed a situation to develop where the police can brazenly attack a group of Celtic fans just for standing up to them. 3 weeks ago, just not far from here on the Gallagate, the Green Brigade held a protest march against police harassment. It was killed and attacked by a mob of 200 bat-wielding police. Fuck off! 13 Celtic fans were arrested and have been banned from attending matches. This incident sparked a flame within many of us, a determination that no longer would we let other people be victimised and harassed. A determination that no longer will we let other people to be arrested and attacked. A determination that this time we're really going to fight back, and a determination that this time we're going to win. Yes! Immediately after the events in the Gallagate on the 16th of March, Fans Against Criminalisation reconvened. And the response we've had since then has been nothing short of overwhelming. Well wishes and expressions of support have flooded in from across the world. Football fans throughout Scotland, Britain and beyond have contacted us to offer their support, and many of them will be displaying messages of solidarity at matches over this weekend. Fans of other teams are also in attendance here today. They recognise that the criminalisation of football fans extends beyond club colours and affects everyone who watches Scotland's national game. On behalf of Fans Against Criminalisation, I'd like to welcome them here and thank them for putting club rivalries aside this lunchtime. We also welcome each and every single one of the thousands of you that have made the effort to come here today and stand shoulder to shoulder with your fellow fans. There's fans here from all across the world, from Canada, America, Singapore, Sweden, Cyprus and Germany. Australia as well. There's also tens and tens of supporters buses that came here today, from all across Glasgow and the West, through the Central Belt, up and down the East Coast, from up in Wick in the north of Scotland to down in London in the south of England and across the length and breadth of Ireland. The response has been absolutely incredible. And looking out from my vantage point here, I can see thousands and thousands of fans uniting behind each other, and it's a truly incredible sight. I would like to give a special welcome to a number of Celtic fans who will not be joining us later on today at Celtic Park. Some of them are friends of mine, and there are a growing number of Celtic fans who have been targeted by Focus and the Police Service of Scotland. They've been arrested on bogus charges and subsequently banned from matches as part of their bail conditions. Court dates are set for the end of the football season, and trials are delayed beyond reason. More often than not, before it reaches court, charges are dropped, or else charges are laughed out of court. The police hope that this will scare them from going to the football. The police hope that they'll hassle and harass these fans away from supporting the team they love. But we've got a message for the police today, and that message is that we won't let them scare us. We won't be hassled and harassed away from supporting the team we love. And here in George Square today, I'm delighted to say that the band boys stand with us. I'd also like to extend another special welcome, this time to a young fan who will be joining us at Celtic Park today. Like many fans who have been charged over the past couple of years, he's had to repeatedly travel up and down to the north of Scotland to defend himself. Until yesterday that was, because yesterday he won a significant courtroom victory as a Sheriff Court judge dismissed the charge against him and branded the Offensive Behaviour at Football Act as a nonsense. This young fan joined a growing band of supporters who stood up against those that seek to criminalise us and who've won. And if we build on this fantastic start that we've made here today, if we can continue to count on your support, then we too can win our campaign against criminalisation. Now, I'm not going to keep you any longer because we've got two terrific speakers to follow. First up is Michael McMahon. Michael is a Labour member of the Scottish Parliament for Uddingston and Bells Hill, and he's been a vocal campaigner both inside and outside the Parliament against the criminalisation of football fans. Following Michael, we've got Jeanette Finlay. Jeanette is the former chair of the Celtic Trust, and she sits in the executive committee of the Celtic Support Association, and for a decade and more she's been a strong supporter of Celtic fans' rights and defended us. Thank you. Messages of solidarity with fans here today from Motherwell, with fans here today from Hibernian and Edinburgh. We also have fans here from Dundee United, and you're all very welcome.
Can I just say thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to join with you this afternoon. Well done to you all for coming out and showing support and solidarity with fans against criminalisation. But the reality is you shouldn't have to be here, because the Scottish Government, when we're bringing this legislation forward, were told by all of the other political parties in the Scottish Parliament, they were told by the legal profession, they were told by anti-sectarianism charities, they were told by children's charities that this legislation was wrong in principle and it was badly drafted, that the criminalisation of football fans could not stand the test that it was about to receive. That has been proven to be right. The Scottish Government wouldn't listen then, and they have to be made to listen now. So your support here this afternoon sends a very strong signal. But it doesn't just send a signal, it also indicates to the other parliamentarians in the Scottish Parliament, those like me who oppose the bill and who support the campaign against the criminalisation of football fans, that there is a campaign to be supported, and you have that support in the Scottish Parliament, and that's the message that I wanted to deliver to you here today. So as the Fans Against Criminalisation campaign moves forward, as petitions are produced, as rallies are held, continue relentlessly to support that campaign, because it's only by sending out that strong signal that this government will listen. We have to make them listen, because having an opinion which is different from them cannot be a crime. Being a football fan cannot of itself be a crime. my first request to you today is stay relentless and stay focused and support the campaign, and you will have my support and the support of my colleagues in the Scottish Parliament to take this campaign right to the heart of the Scottish establishment. But I also want to make another request of you, and this is vitally important. When I ask you to stay focused, I also ask you, plead with you, to not give the authorities any opportunity whatsoever to portray football fans as a rabble, or to deflect or justify what they are trying to do. We are a strong family, and we will stand together, we will stay organised, we will stay disciplined, and we will not give them the opportunity to deflect attention away from what really matters here, and that is returning football to the fans and getting the politics out of football. Thank you very much.
Thanks for that, Michael. We've also just been sending up a wee message of solidarity. She's in attendance here today from Chairman Cunningham, who's the Deputy Mayor from Belfast. So she's here today to show her solidarity with Celtic fans and all football fans against the Bulls. She's very welcome. For final speaker of the day, I'm going to pass you now on to Jeanette Finlay from the Celtic Trust and also a member of the Fans Against Criminalisation group. So Jeanette Finlay, please.
It's absolutely fantastic to see so many of you here today. Men, women, wains, teenagers, all part of the real Celtic family, and all here to say no to police harassment and no to criminalisation of fans. I stood here 18 months ago like Chris. Well, I didn't stand here, I was actually hanging off that statue up there. And I talked about the Offensive Behaviour Bill, which is now an act and now into its second year of operation. And I talked about all the people whose interest it suited at the time. Alex Salmond trying to get elected for a second term and thinking he would use us to get one over in the opposition. Stephen House, then Chief Constable of the gone but not fairly departed Strathclyde Police, who was looking at having his budgets cut in a period of recession, and he was thinking of climbing the greasy pole to the top job in the Police Service of Scotland. And he thought he would use us as well, and it seems to have worked for him. We had Lord Advocate Frank O'Holland, new into the job and looking to show his gratitude to his political masters. One of the most politicised Lord Advocates in the history of this country. He spends his time defending government policy. And I talked about how we predicted that many people, mostly young people, would be arrested, hassled, threatened, dragged through the courts and generally have their jobs, their studies and their lives disrupted. And I can say that I'm happy to confirm that everything that FAC predicted and warned about has come true. I wish we had been wrong, but we weren't. In fact, it's worse than we predicted. Even we would not have envisaged what Celtic fans and fans of other clubs have had to suffer over the past year. There is not another group in society, and I'm including criminal gangs and I'm including drug dealers, who are subjected to the same level of surveillance, who are searched, scrutinised, photographed, videoed, monitored, vilified, arrested and generally subjected to the most appalling and vindictive harassment. Of violence or disorder or anything like that, but maybe for wearing a t-shirt they don't like, maybe for having a banner that they don't find particularly funny, you know, maybe, if I can turn this page I'll see what it maybe was, singing a song that makes them uncomfortable, holding views they don't agree with, maybe singing a hymn, maybe making the sign of the cross. And where are the civil liberties groups, the trade unions and the great lovers of the progressive cause? Well, apart from a few notable exceptions, they have been very quiet. And it pains me, as a lifelong trade unionist and a socialist, to have to say that, but it's the truth. I said at the beginning how fantastic it is to see you all here, and it is. Gathered here in huge numbers as a community, side by side, in solidarity with each other. How different it was 3 weeks ago, less than a mile from here, when a small group of Celtic supporters of all ages gathered in a simple, peaceful protest, showing solidarity with all of their fellow supporters who are currently banned from Celtic Park as part of bail conditions, or in what the PLC like to call precautionary suspensions. The level of brutality and sheer naked aggression which was meted out to people in that day shames this police force, shames this government and shames this country. Law-abiding group of people and turns them into criminals? What kind of legal system takes young people who are interested in politics and makes them hate the police and despise politicians? This is dangerous, and all citizens, not just football fans, should be concerned. But you've shown them here today. If you try to beat us off the streets, we will keep coming back in bigger and bigger numbers. To keep us down, and you don't have enough bodies to kettle and constrain us. Yet terrible as it was, what happened 3 weeks ago was no more than a spike in the relentless day in, day out, week in, week out harassment and bullying which has now become part and parcel of being a football supporter. And that's why we all have to play our part in opposing this act and opposing the police and criminal justice system in this country, and to keep on doing so until the act is removed from the statute book and the police are brought under control and made to get on with catching criminals and leave football fans alone. So for that reason, our efforts can't end here today. When you get home tonight, whenever that might be, because you might have some celebrating to do at 4:45, think about what you can do to support this cause. Do you have evidence about what happened in the Gallagate 3 weeks ago? Well, go to the Celtic Trust website and you'll find an online witness collection forum going live today, and fill that in. Have you been charged under the Act? Well, contact FAC, give us all the details to strengthen our case when the Act comes up for review. Join us on the 24th of April when we appear outside Parliament to present a petition which will be going online next week to ask for an inquiry into how the police behaved in the Gallagate 3 weeks ago. Do you want the police force held to account for their actions 3 weeks ago? Well, go to the Trust website, you'll find a template email which you can send to your MSP. All you need to do is fill in your postcode and a few simple details, and emails will be sent to all your representatives in the Scottish Parliament. Let's bombard them day in, day out. Let's harass them the way they harass us. Let's make their life as difficult as they've made ours, and keep doing it until they stop. The tide is turning for these people. What happened 3 weeks ago has crossed the line. We've now got judges, sheriffs in Dundee, no particular friends of ours, pointing out that this act was drafted by somebody who simply doesn't understand football. And I believe the word he used was that it was a load of nonsense, and he said, in fact, the word mince comes to mind. So I want to thank you all for turning out here today, and for all of the other things that you've done to show solidarity with each other. Most of you probably know by now that our request to the council and to the police to be allowed to leave here en masse and in good order and safety to Celtic Park today was turned down. So can I ask you all to make your way to the game or wherever else you're going with your head held up and in a peaceful and friendly manner for which we are known and welcomed all around the world, except perhaps our own country. And remember this, supporting your team is not a crime. So let's get today when the teams come on the park, and let's make sure that in the coming weeks and months that same message is held loud and clear by Alex Salmond and his government and by Stephen House. Supporting your team is not a crime. Hail, hail!
Right, come away.
When you start the next section.
Right, that's us. We're live, guys. We're live.
Sorry.
Okay, welcome back there. Sorry, there's been a bit of party going on here today. I think I'm not quite sure what the party's all about. However, good to have you all back. So some really good interviews there from Saturday, and the three of us were all there. So Brian, what was your thoughts on how Saturday went?
I thought the turnout was excellent. I thought Chris spoke very well. The MP Michael McMahon didn't speak for too long. And then obviously finished with Jeanette Finlay, who I thought was outstanding.
She was excellent.
And got the message across that we were wanting to hear, and a bit of unity among the supporters. And I think it's almost the beginning of the fight back now. I think we need to then act on the back of that with a bit of action around what was called for on Saturday in terms of writing to your local MSPs, and we all need to do that, and we all need to follow up on that, because it is the only way we'll affect any change.
Actually, just on that, I went online today, so if we could ask listeners, if you log on to CelticTrust.net, if you click on contact your MSP, and it's very, very simple. You just stick in your postcode. It gives you a list of MSPs. You just tick them off. You stick in your email address, and it actually automatically fires this email out for you. That's all you need to do. And I've had about three replies already actually from MSP. So we would urge everybody get on there. Let's bombard them. As Jeanette said in her kind of called the harems almost. Let us do the harassing. But do it the way it should be done, in a peaceful and democratic manner. And I think it's great what the Trust have done, but in addition to that, I would also urge Celtic fans to actually write themselves to their MSP as well, and their MPs. I think they reckon a written letter gets the attention of 1,000 emails. Is that right?
So I was told by a MSP. The written letter is far more effective. So I would, yes, by all means, do what Jeanette had said, and the Trust have made it very simple for us all to do that. But there's plenty of us can spare 10 minutes, write a handwritten letter, and sign it and post it. And that also would really help the case. You get a couple of thousand letters going in like that, and that'll have massive impact. And you know, it's come to fruition what we kind of all suspected away before this became legislation. That it was designed for one thing and one thing only, and that was to target Celtic fans, as Christine Graham herself put it up, through the evidence gathering, to evening it up. And that's exactly what has transpired. And I think the police made a massive error with the kettling incident. because the general support had kind of, they knew it was happening but weren't really getting involved. When you seen that, you seen young guys, 13, 14 year olds getting that kind of treatment of police and that kind of police presence when all the other things that are going on in this country are happening. So I think it really galvanised the support, and that was there was, I would estimate, I was at the demo 18 months ago, the very first FAC demo, and I would estimate that was double the size on Saturday there. So outstanding turnout, and I think we just, as I say, we need to act upon it.
And I suspected before that they would police it completely differently, and almost didn't police it. You know, there was, and actually, you just kind of knew that's the way it would transpire. You know, they'd kind of done their heavy-handed, but there was no way they were going to do something like that on Saturday.
I know what you're saying, but I still have my suspicions that there could have been a significant police presence not too far away.
Well, I agree with that, but I think the whole tactics were completely different.
Low key, yeah.
I think us as a support, however, need to use this as a stepping stone and the kind of first step, if you like, to actually be building up momentum and building up our response and keep the response going, because you just need to look at the response. There was obviously lots of media there on Saturday, and you just then need to look at the Scottish Government publishing whatever response they did, saying that this is good, the legislation, it's got an 87% success rate in terms of going to people being charged, an 83% conviction rate, and that doesn't stack up at all with all the stuff that we hear and we see, and people being arrested, and the example of the guy in Dundee, the sheriff in Dundee, who used the word, I think, mince on Friday to describe this legislation. And we actually need to, it was a fantastic turnout, and I think you're right, Brian, it's galvanised the support together under the FAC banner. It's not just a Green Brigade thing, it's all the supporters groups getting on board with this. And I think we need to make sure that the next one we can try and get a bigger crowd and actually broaden it out, rather than it just being people. I mean, there was a very wide cross-section of people there. There was families, and I tweeted that on Friday night that I thought Saturday was going to be the turning point, because I knew people were going who you wouldn't normally have expected to have went to something like this. And I think we need to try and broaden it out even further to people who aren't internet bampots, who are not on Twitter or the Facebook element, and actually get, because
the club should be supporting it, and the way to do that is in the stadium. You've got all the fans that are potentially
affected. So you're talking about Celtic
affected.
as opposed to Carluke Shamrock? You're talking about the Celtic?
Celtic. Yeah. I mean, Carluke Shamrock do support it generally.
No, but I mean, that's what we could have done is
in the
took
stadium.
the bus in. You know, I think the next time we should try and
but to be fair, there was probably, from our club, there was at least 20 people there. And then the next time broaden out, but it's not just about us, it's about the wider Celtic support, and getting the message that next time there's going to be 10,000, and the next time after that we broaden out even more, and we get 15,000, 20,000.
We spoke about it on our way to it on Saturday, because we live in the kind of new media world. We live in Twitter, we're online, we know kind of what's happening with these events. Some of the guys you sit around at the game. One of the Green Brigade's protests earlier in the season, which was well publicised, the guy sitting next to me said, "Well, why are the Green Brigade not here today?" Now everybody knew. So I thought, but it's because of we can sometimes maybe get a wee bit presumptuous that because I'm on Twitter or I'm on Celtic Quick News or I'm listening to Homeboys or whatever, that everybody is. And it's not the case. It does need more publicity outside of that
sphere.
I mean, that's the challenge. But as Kevin says, if we're going to build on this, how do we get to the people? You know, the people that aren't on Twitter and new media. How do we then get beyond Celtic? Actually, because what was quite encouraging was the shout outs for some Hibernian fans, Motherwell fans, and there was Dundee United fans who turned up, and actually. So getting beyond Celtic you're right, we need to get Celtic as a club involved, and it's a disgrace that they're not already involved.
Well, they are, according to a lot. Just knowing their side.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I think getting access to PA stuff in the stadium, and a forum in the stadium at one of the busy games, where it's the FAC, because these aren't wee kids. FAC, it's the Celtic Supporters Association. It's the affiliation of Celtic supporters clubs.
The Irish Association.
The Irish Association, and is the American?
No.
Are they part of it? No.
The Green Brigade.
Green Brigade, and there was one further one.
These are all senior people among Celtic fans.
Aye, and I think when you do bring that into consideration, we should absolutely be bringing this as the rank and file of the Celtic support, and there'll always be people who are saying, well, I'm not going to get involved in that, can always think the worst about these things, and the same way some people have done a similar type of thing with the Green Brigade, but this isn't just the Green Brigade. Right. This is the rank and file Celtic support, and I want to see. It was good on Saturday because it was a nice day and an okay day. It wasn't batting down by rain, and things like that always encourage people to come out, and I want to see us do something, even if it's for the Celtic Supporters Association, and getting an hour before kick-off on a game and march down there, kind of 10,000-15,000 strong. We need to send out the message. This isn't just 4,000 people who are protesting against this. This is all of us believe that this legislation is wrong, and we need to do it, build the momentum quickly, because I believe there's a sunset clause on it, which allows them, which means it will be looked at after a period of time, a year and a half.
I think they've delayed it. Apparently, I think they've delayed when it should be.
Because this isn't going to be an easy thing to win over, because the government are coming out and sticking by their guns, and we need to make them change their mind by the amount of people who are vociferously against it.
I mean, two really good points that Michael McMahon made, and one was around no giving them an excuse, and I thought that was just a really important point to make about how we behave and how we protest. And actually, interestingly, one of the replies that I've already had to my set of emails, that was what one of the MSPs actually referred to, and just and actually said, in terms of if you're going to do these protests, make sure you get the proper authorisation, all of that kind of thing, because all of that just gives them an excuse to say, well, they didn't get it properly organised, they weren't allowed to march because this and this. Now, actually, the way Saturday eventually turned out, it turned into a march anyway, virtually, because people and they gave them kind of certain routes that you could go.
Hard for used to.
Well, I would have, but Brian wanted to give me a lift. So.
No, I didn't.
So, I mean, there was no hassle on route and stuff like that, but I think that's a really important point. Don't give them any excuses whatsoever.
But what happened on Saturday
came about because
of the low-key policing, probably the way it should be policed.
Yes.
There was nothing, no significant police presence here on Saturday.
Yeah, but the reason why...
And it went peacefully.
I know, but you still need to tick the boxes, do you know what I mean?
But the reason why we were all there, Vincent, was because the way they treated something that they could have treated far better 3 weeks ago. That was the reason. That's certainly why I was there. I was there because, and the whole thing came about because 3 weeks ago that hadn't been arranged. That got arranged as a direct consequence. I agree with you, but I would say it's people's right to protest at things, and if people want to do that, as long as there's no violence involved, then let's show them up for what they are. And I didn't necessarily take Michael McMahon pointing that as don't be walking away here and looking for aggro. I took that as him just saying, look, let's just make sure when we go, you don't give them an excuse to do anything. And 3 weeks ago, they didn't have an excuse to do what they did. They ended up 5 coppers huckling down 15-year-old laddies, drawing their batons, and people were There was not any intimidation, yet they try and paint it as, your creep that goes on Newsnight Scotland for the ex-guy, the police Les Gray, an absolute cretin of a guy. He pulled their hoodies up and tied up scarves round their face. Does that give
crime?
Does that give them the right to be battered and manhandled?
But I think the point is, and whether regardless of how you took what he said, the point he was making, I think, and if he wasn't making that point, I'm making it. If we're going to do these things, do it properly. If the law of the land, as much as we don't agree with it, states that you must get 28 days notice and you must get authorisation, then let's do that. Let's make sure that we tick that box so that they've nothing to come back to say, actually, the reason we get heavy-handed was that's illegal. That's illegal. So, I don't particularly agree with it. But actually, if we tick all the boxes, and there's no reason why we can't, because we're now getting mobilised and organised, do it that way. Because in actual fact, they've nothing to come. Now, I actually don't agree with that at all, in terms of it being a free country, etc., etc., etc. However, I would still say that we should try and get the proper authorisation and make sure that we do that first, and then actually, again, they've nothing to come back to us for. So I kind of agreed with him on that point. I think, in actual fact, it ended up being a bit of a march, and there was no authorisation for that either. There was authorisation for a static, or whatever they call it. A static.
Well, we can't stop you gathering in George Square anyway. We'll look at it tonight.
Having
photos on Twitter with people celebrating.
Is that right?
Aye. Well, George Square's full. Party.
God.
Party. Ding dong.
Wicked old witch is dead, was that all of it?
Who knows?
So, I mean, you're right from that perspective, in that it did turn out to be the organisers obviously made the point, look, we don't have the right to, or we've not been approved. Now that in itself is quite ridiculous. And how did they think that 4,000 people leaving George Square at the same time, how did they think they were going to get to Celtic Park?
What was interesting but was all the kind of shenanigans before it, of how they'd pulled certain people in to have a chat, and it's looking like, yep, we'll probably get authorisation. Sat down, met with people that they didn't think they were meeting with, and then the police all of a sudden kind of changed their mind at the last minute.
I think the police were attempting to they were playing games first of all, and possibly wanting it cancelled, or
drawing people into feeling angry enough to end up retaliating and doing something silly. And I think Jeanette Findlay's point about Stephen House is absolutely correct. A year and a half ago, he's seen his police budget getting slashed in a time of recession. He had aspirations. All he is a politician. He's a copper politician.
Well, that's what
I want to be reading this new Scottish Police Force. I'm going to dance to whatever tune the SNP, and I'm going to reinforce that they're saying there's a need for this. I'm going to reinforce that. And frankly, he deserved to be sacked, not get the top job, because if he'd properly been doing his job, then there would have been no need for this legislation. The legislation that was already in place was strong enough to deal with it. But he just decided he didn't have the balls for that, and kowtowed to his paymasters.
The other good point you made is young people that are interested in sport and interested in politics, and interested in society in general. This legislation's turned the people into hating politics and hating politicians for the way they behave,
and hating the police,
with their law-abiding citizens beforehand, and now they've actually created a whole situation and it was needless.
And I thought that's where Jeanette was quite good, actually, because she laid out what we'd spoke about previously on one of the podcasts, was about the vested interests in this. Right, where did it start? Domestic abuse, right? Then there was Neil Lennon and McCoy to have a face-off. They decide there's going to be a summit, and try and label and add more layers onto something that wasn't really there. What was the other thing they wanted to tackle politically? Well, it was evening things up. We can get Rangers fans can be got with this legislation. Celtic fans can't, because actually it's not really that offensive to MD, apart from certain.
Well, offensive people wasn't the term anyway. That's been introduced. An offence, taking offence is subjective. You can't. I don't know what's going to offend you. Might not offend someone else. It's totally subjective.
It's quite offensive.
Whereas sectarianism isn't. subjective. You can tell what is a sectarian remark over what isn't, and that's where the problem lay. They wouldn't enforce that law onto the people that were breaking that law because it didn't affect one group of supporters.
Or racist remarks where someone describes an Asian person as
you don't need to say the word, but we've all heard it.
You know what I mean? So is that not should so if that had been within a few hours of kick-off, would he be arrested for that? But it's alright for him to kind of say it out with the confines of a regulated Scottish football match.
Ridiculous.
So no, I think it was good. I want to see us building on it, and I want to see it broadened out, because the people that are on the FAC is the umbrella for is the rank and file of the Celtic fans, and I think we should be able to get 40,000 people attending these events, and I think you get something like that, then the impact that has versus 4,000 people where, to be honest, they can marginalise. They're not going to know everyone that's there. We all know people who are there, pillars of society. You know what I mean? Lawyers, doctors, health workers, ordinary people in the street. But they'll be able to marginalise and be saying, 4,000 people, what's that? That's a cross section of the Bampots, basically.
But it's when you look at something that would have been over double the size of the demo of the week before, which is a massive impact across people's social impact and people. With the bedroom tax demo that was held in the same place the week before, and theirs was much larger. So it shows you the depth of feeling is there. I think you touched on a very good point, Vincent, in terms of the other, which is unlike you.
I know, I must admit.
In terms of the other fans being involved, and I would really like to see that be increased. The banner the Motherwell fans had was outstanding.
Heavy hands, empty stands.
So it was good, and I would like to see, yes, more buy-in from the Celtic support and the club, but also the supporters of other clubs that this is undoubtedly affecting. It would be good to.
Did any see the banner at the Bayern Munich game?
Aye, it was good.
Fantastic.
To be honest, I think that's as a consequence of the kind of ultra movement across Europe, which is, I think, quite almost like tight. There's things like that when something's publicised, because there's been other ones. I think St Pauli were the same.
See the one at Derry City?
No, I didn't
they
see
had
that
one
one.
at a corner flag. It was just through Twitter I saw it. Again, supporting the Green Brigade fans against criminalisation. So word's certainly spreading. I mean, just for listeners then, I mean, what kind of ideas have you got yourself, just for winding it? I mean, is it just a case of us trying to get out there and pound the streets and be speaking to other fans? I mean, we all speak to rival fans, so really kind of starting to educate them, or?
Well, I think what happened on Saturday with the level of press interest there was, because obviously
I must stop you there. Actually, just talking about press, I don't know if you noticed who was on the back page of the Sunday Sun. No,
I was.
You never saw it, right?
No. Sorry. I've seen the Kaluk Shamrock banner on the back of the Sunday Herald.
Aye, so the banner was there, but it's still so just beyond.
So you're priding yourself in being in the Sunday Sun. Right, we'll just shut this podcast down right now.
The development of your body in the past couple of years, you could have been page 3.
Thanks very much, Moobs. Sorry, Kev. Sorry to interrupt you. It's just somebody's on the paper and somebody's on there. Obviously, carry on.
No, I was on the telly apparently.
Were you?
Aye.
What cameras were there actually?
STV were definitely there. I don't know if there was any.
So there was some doing the rounds on Twitter. They were showing.
Someone had actually paused it,
showed me popping up the. Well, they didn't know it was me. They seen Kaluk Shamrock and they tweeted my guy or Facebook my guy.
Tell the listeners where the prime spot was actually, because it was
what statue that was. Though.
I don't know. It was
just right.
Somebody on a horse.
Aye, no, I'm no.
It was a fantastic spot actually.
Somebody Facebooked a picture or something like that was paused for the news, and it was showing some dafty putting up the flag. There was a boy on Twitter, Kevin Irvin, I think it is. Kenny. Kenny's who we used to work with, and he's like, I seen the tweeting something. I seen the Shamrock flagging up. It took them a few efforts. To be honest, it was only because I thought the coppers were going to tell me to get down. So I was in quite a hurry, and I put one bit up. kind of too far along, so when I got to the other side, it was going round the corner, so I had to start from the beginning again.
I saw bits of masking tape in there, and all was up tape.
Organised.
How do you think they get the flag up and
listen, it's got to be colour coordinated as well. It's got to be so you it can't be the brown stuff.
It's not grey duct tape or anything. It's that white duct tape. So
it's got to be easy to rip stuff.
Don't get me wrong, it was hard to see. It was hard to see, but I was close up to it.
Listen, I went through a lot of testing which duct tape we were going to.
I'll tell you, actually,
before we selected our preferred supplier.
It took me an hour to pick it at B&Q one night, and I know you will believe that. There was 4 different brands. It was kind of
testing the strength of it,
so testing cost versus strength, cost benefit analysis. There's a Friday night
easy it is to tear.
But anyway,
that's why it
definitely
goes
Friday
up to
place.
Robles and all these places where you can't tie things up. So, but I do believe that it was good. But I get back to the demo. I think we just need to grow on this and hopefully grow from strength to strength on it.
Aye.
Yeah. I think to go back to your original question, how do we do that with other fan groups? Obviously, the other groups have. So there's ultras and there's trusts within, and these people are speaking. The supporters associations are speaking, and I think that's the way it's done. And hopefully we get a bit of momentum behind it. I know at the end of April, I can't remember, is it 24th?
24th, Scottish
there's this. They're delivering a petition, which again we need everyone to sign, and that's been delivered to the Scottish Parliament.
How can you access that?
Again, on the Celtic Trust website, there's full information. Yeah, for the actual petition, I think you can be anywhere in the world to sign it.
I think it's a link to the Scottish it's on the Scottish Parliament website as well. I think.
From whereas with writing to your MSP, I believe you need to be resident in Scotland. But for the petition, I believe you can be anywhere in the world.
Well, we're broadcasting all across the world.
That's why I said it.
It's definitely worthwhile.
That's why I said it. I was cognizant of that very fact.
So the point I was going to make actually before you started about the Sun was the fact that there was such a big press presence. It was probably a good thing in that it was able to show other Celtic fans who weren't there that this isn't just in inverted commas a lunatic fringe. This is a wide cross section of the support, and they should feel comfortable joining and embracing and seeing the people that are there broadcast all over Scotland and showing that it wasn't just.
That's a really good point, and you've just reminded me of something. I was at a funeral last Wednesday, and I was speaking to someone at a funeral afterwards, and I was saying, "Are you going on Saturday?" And they said, "Aye." And she goes to every game, and I said, "No, I mean the demo at George Square." And she's the same age as me, and she just said, "Oh no, I stay clear of that kind of thing." I said, "Well, it's no that kind of thing." Do you know? And it maybe just still that wee feeling in the general support. And she said, "Oh, I totally support the Green Brigade." I said, "This isn't just about the Green Brigade. This is about every Celtic supporter and every football fan in Scottish football."
The bit that I'm slightly struggling with is the other football fans, because, and maybe it's just my ignorance, but I'm not really aware of them getting the kind of hassle.
I think some of that wee bit at Motherwell, I think they've been getting a bit of hassle.
Well, they had the challenge up at Inverness earlier in the season, did they not? When they had a banner taken down, they all ended up marching out, or they were standing up in the seats or something like that, and somebody got arrested, so they all walked out. To a greater or less extent, everybody would have been affected by it.
But in some ways, actually, if they're not getting targeted as much, then we need to lead it. But I think where some other, I'm kind of trying to get in their minds, but some other fans will potentially think, well, that's just a Celtic.
Just think back to your childhood.
That's just a Celtic thing. But they'll just think, that's just a Celtic thing. Why do you want to be interested in that? So
I don't think it is, though, because during the evidence gathering there was supporters organisations and supporters groups from across Scottish football submitted evidence, whether it via oral evidence or whether it was written, and you can access all that. I mean, whole judicial system is against it. There's cross-party unity against it outside of the SNP. All the churches are against it. All the clubs are against it. It's just unbelievable that it's got. They've
been bloody-minded about it.
Of course they have, yes.
And to be honest, they talk about it being a government of listening. We didn't listen to that. They've not listened to what happened with the same this marriage bill that they're proposing, where the public consultation was 66% against. And this is not talking about whether you support it or not, but my point is, they talk about being a listening government, and frankly they're not a listening government, they're an imposing government. No. And that's why, it doesn't matter. Anyway, when you go.
Aye. No. What was it? Someone had said, it was Paul Brennan, CQN, one of his articles, Salmond Scotland is looking more like Thatcher's Britain.
Aye, I thought that was pretty good actually. I thought it was pretty good, I agreed. Okay, so that'll wrap up the demo. Okay, thanks for that, guys.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, 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 tock.
Yeah, later on the song.
Right, come on, we're live again, we're live.
Oh, right,
for goodness sake. So
we'll get to the end of this song yet.
You've got to stop sneaking up on us with that pressing the record button.
Okay, so welcome back, guys. Welcome back.
We are live. Look, we guys are wearing their green uniforms.
We might go uniforms, I know. It's the Munchkins. Okay, welcome back, guys. So, what there was on Saturday, there obviously was a game also on Saturday, which we all ended up back at. So Celtic and Hibernian. So I'll just start with the team. Forster, he went with Izagiri, Ambrose, Wilson, Lustig, Mulgrew, Commons, Wanyama, Ledley, Stokes and Hooper. So a pretty strong team to start off with, Kevin.
That before
Kevin's away. Does it just jump? So pretty strong team to kick off with there, Brian.
I thought the same strong team. I was quite happy with that. I thought we played well. I thought we started well. I thought Chris Commons took his goal very well.
Sorry, I thought that was somebody joining the Wicked Witch's Dead party, but
and he dug it out his feet very well and placed it nice in the corner. It wasn't hit with any pace. It didn't need to be. It was so well placed. And so I thought we played well and quite happy. I thought Joe Ledley had a great game. I thought Chris Commons looked at his best, and pretty happy.
I thought I'd agree with you, Brian. I thought Joe Ledley was good, and I kind of called that out. I think 20 minutes to go. He just was quietly and efficiently going about his job, helping break things up, helping link the play, and it was obviously noticed amongst others because he got man of the match at the end of the game. So,
that's right, so he did.
I think the goals was at the time. I actually thought Coleman's first goal was a bit fortuitous, in that Hooper was looking for Stokes, who was out in the right, but when you actually see it again, he actually played it into the path of.
I was having a bit of pace.
A bit of pace, but he got it out his feet very quickly. And it was a great finish, absolutely great finish. And you're looking at that, and you're hoping to go on, and we obviously scored a few more goals. Great second goal from Commons as well. I thought as soon as he got the ball, you just knew it was a goal from where we were in the north stand. He kind of just back to goal, but his arse was pushing into the defender and just barreled and banged it home. So it was good. I've got to laugh right enough. I've seen it again last night, and the chance that Hooper was desperate to give him the ball. And to be honest, he played the ball like a rocket again, so he did, rather than just, all he had to do was tap it and Commons was just walked on it and slotted it home. But he's the two of them, the ball was in amongst his feet and stuff. The two of them just busted laughing, so they did.
He just made the works.
But I thoroughly enjoyed the game. Good atmosphere, Obviously it was good when someone got the second goal and hanging on, and then all of a sudden, because the boy did obviously cheer that went up near the start of the second half.
Aye, but it was one each at half time, and then there was a cheer and then another cheer, so we thought
the Green Brigade had got mixed up. They had a cheer at the start early on in the second half, and I think that might have been them just hearing it was one each.
I got that. They all had a bet on the winner of the Grand National at 60-61. The boy next to us at the radio, so as soon as that cheer went up, and everybody was like, "Whoa!" We were like to the boy, he's like, "No, it's still one each." So the boy next to me nearly burst in the eardrums when it went to 2-1. And at that point, people were turning around.
We thought that was 3-1. We thought it was 3-1.
No. So people were turning around about where we were. Looking and saying, "Is it really 2-1?" I was like, he's got a radio, and some people were like, it's not updating my phone, he's got a fucking radio, what meant you need to know? So and then obviously Liverpool could equaliser, McFadden, and the boy, I thought the boy was just going to wrap the wire of his headphones round his neck and go mental.
Well, actually, I must admit, in confession time, in terms of, I probably missed a good 20 minutes of the game, and that was because I was watching Craig White passing his way around the stadium.
That was entertaining, wasn't it?
Brilliant.
Ooh, when they got there over the press box, you see some of the footies. The press box, you see some of them sitting with their head down, the other one's laughing. You're like, just brilliant.
That was absolutely hilarious.
Because Tony Hamilton, Laura Brannan, and someone else, the three of them are sitting. And you see your hands going up, passing it along. Wow, you're beauty. Someone tweeted a picture. It was just brilliant.
There was some great shouts as well. As it came to us, I don't know if did it go over. I wouldn't go over. Use are up on it. Actually, the paint was falling off it. So, but when it went over you, you were absolutely covered in wee speckled dust. Bits of black paint. You're like, I think that's how everybody was trying to get that away.
It did move pretty quick, didn't it? Moved nearly as fast as Craig White or even Scotland.
That's what the fat cats bit don't want to touch a fan's banner and stuff.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Do you know what was quite disappointing? Vincent's better dressed tonight than what he was when he went to and he's only got his joggers on and his Celtic onesie underneath. He likes his onesie. But he was going to the hospitality Saturday with a pair of denims on.
Look, it's not really the hospitality. It's not really the hospitality, but is it?
To be fair, it's no real hospitality.
I don't know, is it just...
It's a tea and pies at half time and access to the bar. It's not really hospitality.
It's not.
It's not your proper. Although the one time I did take Kevin, he certainly got his money's worth. And it never cost him anything. So he done very well.
I didn't eat for a week before it, Vincent.
Or I have to say that he brought the pie up for us as well, which was quite good.
But I think the funny bit was just watching it when it was making its way around. And then we were kind of sitting studying it, thinking, like, where are they going to go? Is it going to get into the main stand?
Come down and then back up.
Down and round and across, up onto the main stand, and right across. Then the Green Brigade are singing "Gate to the Hibs," and then it came back, and then it goes up to the back of the main stand, and you're thinking, "Oh, yeah, beauty."
The thing is, because of where we are, you can't actually see. All you can see is the kind of front row to the north stand, where we are in the rear north stand. So you seen it going up, and then you seen it getting chucked down. And you didn't see anything until we looked, and it was going round the corner, and it was up to the kind of Club 67. The Club 67.
And it went upside down, didn't it? And then they turned it around again.
So we hadn't seen anything, so we probably missed a good 10 minutes of it as it went along. It was 5 minutes as it went along a north stand front. And then you're like, it's there. And it was like upside, and used to say it upside down, and then they managed to get it round the right way. And
brilliant.
Yeah, and Gate to the Law, I think was the shout. That was one of the shouts.
Gate to the Law.
Gate to the Law.
I don't think he touched it.
I kind of just there's one picture of just going under him, and he's looking in the complete opposite direction, trying to think, go away.
What are they talking about?
I wonder what they've done back there. Have they cut that out of the main one, or do you think it would?
No, I think it was all in sections anyway.
It was all in sections
because lots of what they do is in sections. So often there was one they did, and it was like Celtic Park, and they actually moved the sections along to reveal other stuff coming out.
No, that was the one with Tynecastle, mind, and they had the tractor going across. They had two guys holding the tractor going across, and it was a picture of Tynecastle, and as the tractor, it was like a bulldozer went across, and there was flats behind it. And that's when it was Hearts.
Oh, I never saw that.
Flats, glorious flats. Absolutely brilliant.
Oh, I never saw
the
that.
boys are genius. That's why they do it.
I think I'm sure that they were all in. Lots of what they do is in kind of very distinct sections. Well, how would you get something in that's
really
70 foot by 100 foot or something? You know what I mean?
Do you know? I thought they just chucked them after they had. Obviously, they don't. They keep them. Somebody's got some size of wall in their house, and big massive wall with all huge brigade.
I'll be honest, I think that's the best banner I've ever seen in my life.
The four horsemen of
and especially the pictures that you've seen. The guys for the front stand, and it was a Rangers team that looked as if they were actually going after the Rangers team. Just
brilliant.
It's best one I've ever.
It was excellent.
That and they got Bloodstain.
But it was good all round atmosphere, and we'll get the league victory.
However, I'm gutted because I'm sure the first game after the split's going to be at Celtic Park for us to obviously clinch a championship. And I'm taking my son away for his Christmas present that weekend to Barcelona to watch a Barca game.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I think you'll be fine. I think it'll either be Ross County away or Inverness away.
I've got a funny feeling it'll be that.
And do you know why? That's why they've not announced it yet, because I've drew it out 30 times and it's no come out that way, so we need to keep doing it.
Keep drawing it.
The computer's blowing up.
So actually, the next, if for example there was the next home game, they could win it.
No, they win it
regardless.
We only need 1 point.
Yeah. So it's 1 point now.
Aye. So we've won it in goal difference. We'd need to lose every game 3-0, and Motherwell would need to win every game 2-0. So
that's unlikely, isn't it?
Well, you never know.
Okay, so that was the Hibs game. So just a wee look forward to Sunday semi-final against Dundee United. How are you feeling about that? Is it squeaky bum time?
Don't like Hampden. I think we have been playing okay, but that's not okay at home, I should say. I don't know the last time we won away from
record at Hampden over the last few seasons is
horrendous, irrespective of the form going into the game.
I got a note of you on Saturday, and what was one of the things they were talking about, obviously Neil Lennon's charge and 3 defeats in their last 3 visits to Hampden is not great. To say the least.
I wonder when I would like to know when the last time a Celtic team had done that, if they ever have.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
3 defeats in a row at Hampden.
So
I'm not going.
Oh, this is part of your part of your boycott, isn't it?
I'm no.
I hate Hampden.
I'm not giving the SFA any money.
You're giving the SFA sweet FA? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Well, we're going to be getting a hard time soon as well, but that's for a later podcast.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about. You've divulged me, but that will come. Yes, that will come.
That is in hand. Trust me.
We trust you, and Brian, we trust.
But so I'm not going. I'm sorry to say that I'll not be there. I'll not be at Hampden supporting my team, but I can't give a penny to the SFA. Corrupt organisation.
I would tend to agree with that, Kevin.
he's the official Macaulay spokesman on it. So we've always had seven attendees every game, 4 kids, 3 adults, or the other way, 4 adults, 3 kids. I didn't go to the St Mirren game. I hate going to Hampden. I detest the SFA, and people will probably say the reason I didn't go to the semi-finals because it then reduced the chances of me getting a ticket for the final if they ended up playing Hearts. Well, we knew at that point it was Hearts, and I'll be the same for this. Maybe if Brian had been going, I was probably going to ask him to take Declan, because I don't feel like my prejudices against the SFA should necessarily be inflicted upon him. However, that's obviously not the case, so he'll not be going either.
And I have to say, I think we will get through, and I'll not be going to the final either.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. That's why I'm not saying I didn't go to St Mirren game, but I would have went to the final. That's why I didn't go to St Mirren game, because I wasn't going to go to the final and didn't want to get the letter dropping through my door because I'd went to the semi-final. I hate the place. Do you know? See, before it got done up in inverted commas, we built one new stand, and that was it.
At the cost of renovating the whole stadium.
I loved Hampden, like the old Hampden. I mean, don't get me wrong, we used to stand at League Cup finals, and they would have the cover, even although the Celtic board had actually paid more money to the SFA than Rangers ever had. They were the one with the roof. We had nothing. You get pissed on, but all the fondest memories I have of winning the 85 Scottish, sorry, not the 95, the 85 Scottish Cup,
88,
the 88, the 100th Scottish Cup.
That was 85.
Brilliant sunshine, the one where he stopped them winning the treble.
91.
I loved that time. I thought Hampden was brilliant, even though it had lots of inadequacies. But see now, I detest the place. I just can't face going. So I am a bit the same as Brian. I'm apologetically saying I'm not going. I won't be going to the final. I
think we will get through. I think we will get through.
You think so?
Aye.
Yeah.
I'm quite confident. I think we're playing
well enough.
Aye, to beat Dundee United, and I can't see any Celtic team going 4 games in a row getting no winning at Hampden.
Who's the other semi?
Falkirk, Hibs.
It'd be quite nice.
All
Celtic Hibs. I wouldn't mind.
All green.
It's horrible being on this podcast at times like this, because you'll have people that are listening to it that obviously you hate Hampden more than you love your club and all that kind of stuff, and you set yourself up to be shot down type of thing.
You do, but I've got the principles. I am not financially supporting a corrupt organisation, and that's exactly what they are. And I will go back to Hampden, and I will support my team there when that's sorted, and that will be sorted in time.
Brian's got it in hand.
I've got it.
Told you he's our spokesman.
Yeah, he's mine now as well.
He's our leader.
Okay, so remember you can get in touch via Twitter, Facebook, our website and our email address, which is mail@carluckshamrock.com, Brian.
What happened to the Gmail account?
It was shut down and actually never existed.
I gave the email addresses. Come on, Vincent, it's carluckshamrock@gmail.com. We've never had a Gmail.
What's he on about?
To edit it out.
Okay, so just a couple of hot topics this week. The first one is just a reminder of the Willie McLean Memorial Night, which will be Friday the 19th of April, and I'm suspecting it'll be a sellout by now, but you never know. You never know, there might be tickets left, so if you want to come along to that, a fantastic night. It's on the 19th of April, so get in touch via the website.
Right, can I just interject for 2 seconds?
You can.
Just a wee bit of music that we want to. Jim's just dropped in. All right, Mr. C, how you doing?
I'm all right. What do you want?
Oh,
Name that tune in 3. You don't need to look at it. Just listen to it. Close your eyes, that's it. Don't fall asleep.
As mayor of the Munsters.
Come on, man. What's that all about?
Right, Brian. He's got it. He's definitely got it.
Get down off the tables, you.
The Iron Lady may say rust in hell.
Okay, and our final hot topic of this week, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Who's back in town, Brian?
Craigie White.
Google eyes. Google eyes. According to Charles Green being interviewed live on television.
I seen an article that said something. He has a bit of a meltdown while speaking live.
Oh, brilliant! I've not seen it. I just heard of it.
It is absolutely fantastic.
Well, do you know, I've spoke to a couple of people about it since Friday when I heard, and this is potentially a very, very serious situation for Green, Sevco 50888, Sevco Scotland, the Rangers International PLC, and what I've heard is there is a high probability of police involvement.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, surely.
And so that will be very interesting to see how that transpires and how that plays out in the next. This one well-known commentator that I speak to regularly suggested earlier today that there could be a padlock put on the gates and doors of Ibrox, and it would take years to sort out, depending how this goes. Right. So it'll be really interesting. I did say to him, "You're just trying to get me excited," which he managed.
I've got to say, it's obviously worked. However, the only police involvement will be to cart Craig White away, regardless of what evidence he has in his favour, because every single thing that's happened so far has been swept under the carpet. The Lord Nimmo Smith, where they were found guilty, all the stuff before that around the big tax case, where.
But I think there's a difference in this one.
It's exactly what I said to Paul, and there is a difference with this one. That it isn't the Scottish police necessarily, or the Scottish authorities that are dealing with it. This is the financial guys in London who will not let this drop and will not say, "Oh, it's all right, as Rangers will let it sweep it under the carpet."
So David Cameron lobbying HMRC for a resolution to this because he didn't want disorder on the scale of Northern Irish marching season. What makes you think that it's going to be any different this time than what we've experienced over the last year? Found guilty, and what's all the press? "Oh, they're not guilty, not been found guilty."
That's the Scottish press.
This is not to do with the Scottish press. I agree with Brian.
It's not. Well, and
there's international investors. It's so wide-reaching now. It cannot be contained. It cannot be contained
within this wee country.
This is a Scottish institution, a pillar of Scottish society. You're talking about. How could anything? How could anything be found against this organisation?
I'm talking about the Huns.
No, but actually, if any of this is if it's proven, for example, on what we think has happened and his involvement with Green, Brian's right, that takes it to a completely different level from anything that's happened up to now.
I mean, it's fraud. It's fraud. Potential. Allegedly.
And actually, where are BDO? I know they're in place.
Well,
what do they do?
I think you might hear from them reasonably soon in terms of they'll be investigating this, no doubt whatsoever.
I wonder if they already knew any of this.
Who knows? It's strange the timing of it, and yet you still. I didn't listen to the radio tonight, but you've got it's still been pushed for either the zombies to get put into SPL2 or for the league reconstruction not to happen, and it's just
staggering.
It's staggering in terms of there's still that support for Charles Green. I think some Rangers fans will be coming to their senses that this guy maybe isn't what they need, and maybe some of his rhetoric in to get them on board is exactly what it is. It's to hide what he's actually there to do, or hide what he has already done.
I mean, in some ways, I was going to say I'm gobsmacked that they've taken it, and I'm no gobsmacked knowing the kind of mentality of them, but the very fact that he has got away, and they've, the lack of questioning of this man is absolutely dumbfounding. The fact that and actually it goes right back. We were talking about this on Saturday. It goes right back to the mentality of when Celtic was broke. We said, right, we rallied, we all got round the club and we fixed it as a support. Whereas there's still a mentality of some Sevco fans that are actually thinking, no, fingers in their ears, this can't happen to us because we are actually the people and we are also the people, so this won't happen to us. And they're still thinking about that. You know, actually, if this time last year they'd said, right, actually, game's a bogey, let's start again, I would have had a bit more respect for them. Do you know, as much as I wouldn't have really welcomed them back, I would have had more respect for them to say, right, they've actually realised, let's start from the beginning, let's do this all over again.
But they've never done anything wrong, according. I mean, you heard, we had only heard a little bit of that guy, that Chris Graham guy, and he just lives in a total fantasy world. He's saying, no, we're not in your club, we're the same club. Well, you're not, your club get liquidated.
And as Brian said, shouting at the radio, which was a perfect point, well, why did they need to do a transfer?
Because he kept referring to, it's the same membership but transferred. I'm like, well, why if you're not a new club, why did it need to transfer? But who did it transfer from and who did it to? If you're the same club,
but neither Graham Spears nor Tom English, was it Tom English? It was in the studio, or Kenny McIntyre thought to ask the question.
I'm not surprised at that, Keith.
And it's the same with when they say incorporated in 1899. What was incorporated? It was basically a football club becoming a company. No, it's the same thing.
No, becoming a business.
Yeah.
Aye.
Just legal speak.
So it's watch this space. There's more to come, Brian, and you're going to reveal. All will be revealed.
In terms of, I think I'll come out. I think even the press, some of the mainstream media today was referred to in Celtic Quick News, and even that was pretty damning on the potential consequences if it is, if the allegations made by Craig White are true and correct. Certainly the money being transferred into somebody's granny's account.
That was quality.
Did you know hear about that? No. The money that Craig White, 137,500, which incidentally is exactly 25% of the 550,000 required as a deposit to secure favoured preferred bidder status. So, and that's what Craig White has said. It was transferred into Ahmed's
mother's account.
Green calls Ahmed something else, but
let's not call it
his mother's bank account. And
money received this morning.
Thank you. Charles Green was saying, we've been trying to get hold of Craig White to give him it back. Well, why don't you just transfer it back? We've no touched that.
We try to phone him.
You know that guy Ahmed got £200,000 back and plus 50,000 for arranging a short-term loan. So they're just ripping it out of
just a cash cow, and actually,
and do you know
he's made no secret of that since he joined.
But whilst I don't feel sorry for them, it's the Rangers fans that are actually paying for it all. Do you know what I mean?
It is.
And actually, they're just not bright enough to catch on. I just don't understand it.
It's crazy. And do you know what is really, really, really funny about it all? Bomber Brun was right.
Shows your title deeds.
Absolutely brilliant.
Think he'll come back?
He'll manage them when they're in the West of Scotland Junior League. Oh, yeah.
They'll be getting the biggest attendances ever in the recording in the West of Scotland.
That'll be a world record.
You know how all around the time last year when they were going through the administration and then liquidation, and there was all these things. Doesn't matter if Rangers are playing in the streets, we'll watch them. Well, that might just come to fruition.
Playing Kingsley.
You'll need to be dead ends, but because just for the traffic and stuff.
I know. Well, maybe that's what Neil Lennon was referring to with the youngsters. They need to start playing in the streets again.
Right.
Maybe the
Could
Rangers
are
going to start. Going to lead the way.
I don't say that, but we will end up getting bullets and bombs sent through because they said something like that.
No. Okay then. Thanks for that, lads.
Shambolic.
Sorry, Chico, no shambolic tonight. The only shambolic thing this week is the offensive behaviour bill. Oh, that's a rubbish one, isn't it? That was Richard. Richard wrote that.
Boom.
That's no good at all, is it?
Is that Richard? No, that wasn't Richard. His jokes are alright. That was yours. That's getting Vincent Mooney.
No, he definitely wrote that. He definitely wrote that.
No, I don't believe that for a second.
So instead, we're going to ask the guys that were at the book launch on Saturday night just to give us a wee 5 minutes on how that went.
We're going to ask the Bampots who were at the book launch.
On
you go, Brian.
A good night, Brian.
It was alright. It was always when I'm at these things, when people get to a certain level of drunkenness, I just want to leave. But Paul spoke again very eloquently and read for his book, and
did he do a reading, did he?
Which wasn't as eloquent some of the language in the book.
No, I think Paul's got a very kind of Irvin Welsh
style,
train spotting type. Jim Craney's nodding there in the background.
I found that his last book.
But it was good, and it was a good extract from the book he read. It was very funny, a few funny bits in it, and a few bits. Good
so
laugh.
It was a big crowd, was it?
Aye, mobbed again, absolutely mobbed again. I think probably when we got there, Kevin and I went for something to eat first, and then went up, and it was maybe just a wee bit subdued with the way the game had finished, or more the way the Motherwell game had finished. But people got into it. The band was Quadrophenians, and I have to say they were absolutely outstanding. Outstanding. They're a really talented group of guys. And in true mod style, I can't speak highly enough of them.
Is that a Glasgow band, is it?
I don't know where they're from.
I don't know.
Kevin bought a CD and we listened to that in the car on the way back, and it's absolutely brilliant.
But it's like traditional rebel band. They sing it in an Irish tone. These guys are singing in the kind of Paul Weller mod, the whole. I mean, that's what it's like, isn't it?
The Jam, and Sex Pistols,
brilliant. Honestly, God, absolutely brilliant. Tremendous,
really good. Really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed the band, and it's always good listening to Paul Larkin speak. He speaks from the heart about Celtic, and I enjoy that. We bumped into Jason and a couple of other people on the way, and they were going to see the play. I'm a Valley. The Kano Foundation had put on as a fundraiser, which was good. And met a few guys in there. Johnny was there, obviously from the bus, and a couple of guys from Wishaw, Tony Chalmers and Kevin Rooney. Well, Kevin's Carluke.
Oh, the Kevin go, because he came in with us in the training.
So it was good. It was good catching up with people and having a chat. And we met Chris Kajawa at the the event before the football, the FAC rally before the football, and then he was at the book launch as well.
The parrot was he?
The parrot was. I forgot about the parrot. How could I forget about the parrot? The parrot, the parrot should stick to being a parrot. No, he was good. He was good. He probably didn't get the best of order, and a few of his funnies. Maybe just didn't quite everyone maybe didn't catch him. I got them right enough. I was listening.
Because you're witty, but
well, I was listening intently. No, I was hanging on every word he was saying.
To be fair, I still wouldn't have for Jason back, but it wasn't that bad.
So you can say that because you're Jason's pal, but in reality, he's right. But it was good. And a really enjoyable night.
To be fair, the only downside I had was I needed to go home with Brian, and when he reached that point quite early doors, like, no one to sit with people that were pissed. I'd been quite happy for another hour to listen to the band, but I've got to say the band were great. I'd love to get them up here one night.
That's not a bad shape,
They were really, really, really good. And
good.
Just a different type of
different style, different band, and their own songs. Really good. I particularly like the attack. Absolutely brilliant. They're really good.
So it was basically the same kind of format, was it, as the last?
Well, disappointingly,
no buffet.
There was no buffet.
What are you saying? He just demolished a pizza and 4 slices of garlic bread. You couldn't possibly be ready.
We wouldn't have went for that. If we hadn't went, we wouldn't have went for that had we. If there was a buffet,
if you knew there was going to be a buffet.
Aye, we would. We did the last thing, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
That's right. We did that.
To be honest, Brian I was that way, got to look cross, I'm like, right, am I going out? My guy had got out, he was going to the FAC. I'm like, right, I'm just going up the road. No, I want me out. Brian started moving, I'm like, right, let me out.
I was halfway round the corner in the lights.
So I ended up walking an elder statesman, chaperoning him up the road, walked back down, and I'm embarrassed to say, I must have taken in about easily 12,000 calories. I ended up going for a double chicken tikka naan kebab in the way home. So after having a Pizza Hut, I ended up with that. So that was a good finish to a good weekend.
I bet the spare bedroom was smelling fresh on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon.
Well, with Siobhan's broken foot, I'm resigned to her bed, and she's her mother's running about after her, and she's lying at my side. So I might not get back into that bed, to be perfectly honest.
You get the free rein. Okay, so right, so
too much info.
Too much info. We're just going to wrap up there. So I'm Vincent at Vincenzo Sir on Twitter, and tonight our panel have been
BJ Max 67 on Twitter
and
Kevin. I don't give out Twitter names.
Okay, guys, thanks for that.
Hail, hail.
Hail, hail.
Hail, hail.
The thing I want to see the most is the Glasgow Celtic score. I've been to Munich, been to Paris and Berlin. I watched injustice fall upon you in Turin, and I've shared the pain and glory with the friends that I have made as I dance from place to place in green and white on a worldwide tin parade.